How did I end up standing in my office building lobby while a stranger handed me divorce papers in front of my co-workers? What made my husband file so fast, like he was only waiting for the right day to press a button? Why did everyone stop looking at him like the villain and start looking at me like a lie? My name is Orual Bennett. I was 33 when this started to crack. I worked in billing at a small family clinic. I knew how to read numbers, dates, and forms. I knew how to sound calm when I needed to sound calm. People at work called me reliable. They said I kept things moving. I liked that. I liked being the one who held everything together. At home, I was also the one who held everything together. That is what I told myself. Ethan, my husband, was 36. He was steady and quiet. He fixed small things around the house. He packed our son's daycare bag the same way every day. He liked plans and clear rules. Sometimes he looked at me like he wanted to understand me, like I was a puzzle he could solve if he tried hard enough. I hated that look. It made me feel watched. It made me feel like I had to perform even in my own kitchen. That morning, Ethan stood near the counter and asked why my phone kept lighting up so early. I said it was clinic updates and vendor messages. I said he should stop acting like a detective. He asked if I was running late again. I said I had a lot on my plate and he should help more if he wanted things to be smooth. He opened his mouth like he wanted to answer, then he closed it. He reached for his mug. He used the mug with the chip on the handle. I used the new one. I told myself it was normal to want my own things. While he got Liam's shoes on, I opened a drawer for a pen. I saw a small sticker sheet in the back with bright animals on it. My heart jumped even though it was only paper. I pushed it under a stack of coupons and closed the drawer fast. I told myself it was fine. I told myself I was protecting everyone. I still think I was doing what I had to do. At the daycare pickup line later, I made sure to smile. Other parents stood with coffee cups and tired faces. They nodded at me. I nodded back. I lifted Liam a little and kissed his hair, not because I felt like it in that second, but because it looked right. Liam laughed and reached for my necklace. A mother nearby said he was cute. I said he took after me. I made it a joke. People laughed. I liked the sound of it. Ethan did not come to pickups much, and that helped. If he came, he looked too serious, and people asked questions. I did not want questions. I wanted a clean picture. At the clinic, the lights were bright, and the air smelled like sanitizer. My desk faced the open space. I could see everyone, and everyone could see me. That made it easier. In public, I could play the role I wanted. I told myself that if people believed me, then I was safe. My co-worker Jenna asked why I looked tired. I said Ethan had been moody again and kept asking where I went. I said it was hard, living with someone who did not trust you. Jenna made a face like she felt sorry for me. I leaned into it. Another co-worker, Marco, said some men liked control. I said Ethan was not a bad man, but he had issues. I said I tried to be patient. I said a wife should not have to explain every minute. It sounded fair when I said it out loud. It sounded like I was the calm one. Around noon, my phone buzzed again. Ethan called. I looked at the screen. I watched it ring until it stopped. Then I texted him that I was busy and he should not interrupt me at work unless it was urgent. A minute later, he texted back and asked if he could take Liam to the park after daycare. I said yes, like I was granting him a favor. I told myself I was being generous. Later, when I went to the printer, I noticed a single blank page sitting on the tray. It was warm, like it had just come out. I frowned, then I shrugged. The printer jammed sometimes. That is what I told myself. Still, I felt a small pinch of unease, like a splinter. I did not like surprises that I did not control. After work, I drove to the supermarket. It was the one I always used because it was on the route home. The checkout line moved slowly. I picked a basket that looked normal. Nothing too special. Nothing that would stand out. When the cashier said the total, I pulled out cash, not the joint card. I did it like it was no big deal. The cashier asked if I wanted a receipt. I said no. I told myself I was being smart. If Ethan could see every small purchase, he would ask questions, and questions always turned into judgment. When I got home, the stairwell felt tight. The house was quiet except for the hum of the fridge. Ethan was in his small office room with the door half closed. I heard the soft sound of paper moving, like a page being turned. I heard a tiny click, like a drawer closing. Then I heard the printer again, a short whir. I stopped on the landing and held my breath for 1 second. I told myself I was imagining things. Ethan had work too. Ethan was allowed to print. Ethan was allowed to have drawers. In the kitchen, he asked how my day was. I said it was fine, and the clinic was busy. He asked why I did not answer his call. I said he knew I could not take calls during billing hours. I said he should respect my job. He said he only called because the daycare sent a message about a schedule change and he wanted to confirm. I said he could have handled it without me. I said he acted helpless on purpose so he could pull me back home like a leash. Ethan's face tightened, but he stayed calm. He said he did not want to fight. He said he wanted to be on the same page. I said we were on the same page, and he was the one making problems. That evening, Liam fell asleep early. Ethan washed the dishes. I sat on the couch with my phone in my hand. I watched the screen, then I put it face down. Ethan walked past me and left his phone on the table for a moment. The screen lit up. I did not plan to look, but I looked. A calendar reminder was open. It was simple, like his other reminders. It said, meeting, personal. It had a time and a place downtown. No details, no explanation. Ethan picked up the phone and the screen went dark. He did not tell me anything. He did not rush to defend it. He just put the phone in his pocket and asked if I wanted tea. I said yes, like none of it mattered. Inside, my stomach felt hot. I told myself he was being petty. I told myself he was trying to scare me. I told myself I could handle it. But when I went to bed, I kept seeing those 2 words in my head, plain and quiet, like a door closing without a slam. The next day, I woke up with that calendar line still in my mind. Meeting, personal. 2 words, like a wall. Ethan moved through the morning like usual. He made Liam's oatmeal, wiped the high chair, and checked the daycare bag. He did not bring up the reminder. He did not explain. That silence felt like a challenge. In the car on the way to work, I told myself he was trying to control the house with mystery. I told myself he wanted me to beg. I did not beg. I decided I would make my own noise first. At the clinic, I used the quiet moments between calls to feed the story. I told Jenna that Ethan was acting cold again and keeping secrets. I said he loved rules more than people. Jenna asked if he was cheating. I laughed and said no, he was not that type. I said he was the type who punished with silence. Marco asked if I felt safe at home. I said I felt tired. I said I walked on eggshells because Ethan took everything too seriously. I kept my voice calm, like a professional. People believe calm voices. That afternoon, I met my friends at a rooftop bar near the river. The place had string lights and loud music. The air smelled like smoke from the patio area. I liked being there because nobody asked deep questions. People there liked fast opinions. Ethan came too. I invited him, but it was not kindness, it was strategy. If he sat in that circle, I could shape how everyone saw him. I could make him small without touching him. That kind of power felt clean to me. My friend Talia asked Ethan how he was doing. Ethan said he was fine. His voice was polite, like he was speaking to a manager. Talia laughed and said he sounded like a robot. I laughed too. I said he practiced his tone at home. Ethan looked at me and asked why I was talking like that. I said he always misunderstood jokes. I said he was too sensitive. Another friend, Drew, asked if Ethan ever let loose. I said Ethan did not know how to relax. I said he treated marriage like a checklist. Ethan asked what I meant by that. I said he counted my time, my money, my mood. I said he acted like my boss. People made the kind of faces they make when they want to agree. I felt warm inside. I felt like I had arranged the room. Ethan did not shout. He did not slam a table. He did not even defend himself the way I expected. He asked one quiet question, like he was writing it down in his head. He asked why I told people he counted my money. I said it was true, and if he did not like it, he should change. He looked away and nodded once. That nod made me angry. I wanted a fight, not a note. Later, when I went to the smoking patio to get air, I saw Ethan on his phone. His screen was dark when he noticed me. He put the phone away without acting guilty. I asked who he was texting. He said he was confirming a time for something personal. I asked what kind of personal thing. He said it was his business. I said married people did not have private meetings. He said he did not want to argue in public. Then he went back inside. My friends asked if everything was okay. I smiled and said Ethan was in one of his moods. I said he wanted me to feel bad for living my life. I said he hated being seen as ordinary. They laughed and I let them. I told myself this was fair. If he wanted secrets, he could have a secret reputation too. After the bar, I drove to Kara's apartment. I told Ethan I needed to drop off a sweater I borrowed from my sister. I said she needed help with a cabinet door. Ethan offered to come. I said no, because he would make it awkward. He asked why he would make it awkward. I said he always did because he acted judgmental. He did not argue. He just said to text when I arrived. Kara lived on the 3rd floor of an older building. The hallway smelled like old paint and someone's cooking. When she opened the door, she looked tired. She asked if I brought Liam. I said no. She asked if Ethan knew I was there. I said yes, but I made it sound casual. Maya was in the living room with crayons on the coffee table. She looked up and smiled like I was sunlight. I told myself I deserved that smile. I told myself I had earned it with all my work. I sat with her and helped her color a simple house. She asked if we could go to the park. I said maybe later. Kara watched me, tense. Kara asked how long I planned to keep doing this. I asked what she meant, like I did not understand. She said it was getting harder to explain things. She said the older Maya got, the more questions she asked. I said kids asked questions, and adults answered them. I said that was life. Kara said Ethan was not stupid. I said Ethan was easy to manage if people stopped feeding his insecurity. Kara asked how that made sense. I told her she did not understand marriage. I said she was not married, so she did not know what pressure felt like. Kara said she did not like lying. I said it was not lying, it was privacy. I said some truths were not useful. I said what mattered was stability. She asked whose stability. I did not answer that. I stayed for an hour. Then I left before it got too late. On the way out, Kara held my arm and told me to be careful. She said she had a bad feeling. I asked what she was talking about. She said Ethan asked her a strange question last week about the daycare and family schedules. I asked what question. She said he asked if Kara had been helping me a lot, and how often. Kara said he smiled when he asked, but his eyes looked sharp. I felt a tightness in my chest. I told myself Kara was being dramatic. I told myself Ethan was fishing for control again. I said Ethan always tried to build cases in his head. Kara asked what I meant by cases. I said nothing. I waved it away. Outside, the air was cold. I walked fast to my car, like I could outrun my own thoughts. As I drove home, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. The preview showed only a short line, like someone had cut the words with scissors. It said I should stop pretending, and it mentioned a 5-year lie. My hands gripped the steering wheel too hard. When I parked, I deleted the message right away. I told myself it was a prank. I told myself it was Kara being careless with her phone and someone seeing something. I told myself I was still in control because I could erase a screen with one tap. Inside the house, Ethan was putting clean plates away. He asked if Kara was okay. I said she was fine. He asked if she needed help with anything. I said no. He nodded like he believed me, but his face did not change. He asked if I had a good time with my friends. I said yes, and I said he should try being more social. He asked why I always turned everything into a lesson. I said because someone had to. That night, when I went to plug in my phone, I noticed Ethan's laptop on the dining table. The screen was open. I saw a grid of numbers, like a spreadsheet, but I could not see the title. Ethan closed it when he saw me looking. He did not snap. He just closed it, calm and smooth. I told myself he was trying to scare me with organization. I told myself he was doing it for attention. But when I lay in bed and listened to his steady breathing, I kept thinking about the unknown message, and I could not decide which felt worse, being exposed or being ignored. The fundraiser week came fast. I acted like it was my moment. At the clinic, I told everyone I was organizing a community event after work while still being a mother and wife. People said I was strong. I let them. When someone asked if Ethan helped, I smiled and said he tried, but he did not understand people. I said he was better with tools than feelings. I watched their faces soften for me. Ethan did not stop me. That bothered me. I expected him to complain. I expected him to tell me I was doing too much. Instead, he asked what time the fundraiser started and if I wanted him to bring anything. I said he could bring napkins if he wanted to feel useful. He paused like he wanted to answer. Then he only said, "Okay." His calm felt like he was saving energy for something else. The community hall smelled like coffee and floor cleaner. The lights were bright and a little harsh. Volunteers carried boxes and taped signs to the walls. I walked around with a clipboard like I owned the building. It felt good. It made me feel above my own fear. People greeted me like I was important. A woman from the planning group asked if Ethan was excited to see me in my element. I said he did not really get it. I said he liked private work, not public work. I said he was the kind of man who needed a wife to make him look normal. I laughed. The woman laughed too, like it was harmless. Ethan arrived with Liam and a bag of supplies. He did not look lost. He did not look angry. He held Liam on his hip and waited for me to tell him where to go. That polite waiting made me feel exposed, like I was the messy one and he was the clean one. I did not like that. I told him to put the supplies near the back table. He asked if I needed anything else. I said I needed him to not stand around looking sad. He asked if he looked sad. I said his face always looked like a complaint. He nodded once and walked away without arguing. During the first hour, I stayed busy. I spoke to donors, fixed seating, and smiled for photos. When someone asked about my family, I said I was doing most of it alone, even though I had a husband. I said it in a joking way, like a line people were supposed to clap for. They did clap. A few people laughed loud. I felt my chest lift. Then they asked me to speak into the microphone. I walked up like it was a stage. I saw phones come up. Someone was recording. I liked that too. I told myself a good story needed an audience. I thanked the community and said teamwork mattered. Then I talked about how hard it was to keep a home running when your partner did not show up. I did not say Ethan's name, but I looked at him when I said it. People followed my eyes. They understood. I made a small joke about single parenting with a husband at home. More laughter. It rolled over the room like a wave. Ethan stayed still. He did not roll his eyes. He did not walk out. He did not create drama. He only looked down at Liam's little hands and adjusted Liam's jacket. That small movement made him look gentle. I felt a sharp irritation, like he was stealing my scene without doing anything. After the speech, people congratulated me. They said I was brave. They said it must be hard. I said it was hard, but I managed. Ethan stood a few steps away, like he was giving me space. A man from the committee asked Ethan if he was proud. Ethan said he was glad the event went well. The man joked that Ethan should keep up. Ethan smiled politely and said he would try. He sounded calm, not embarrassed. I wanted him embarrassed. I wanted him to look like the villain I described. When we left, the parking garage was quiet. The air smelled like concrete and car exhaust. The sound of our footsteps echoed. Ethan carried Liam's sleepy body and opened the car door carefully. I watched him. I waited for him to scold me. He did not. In the car, I asked what his personal meeting was. He said it was personal. I asked why he had secrets. He asked why I needed to know every detail. I said married people did not do private meetings. He said he would not argue while Liam was in the back seat. I said he used Liam as a shield. He said he wanted peace in front of the child. That answer made me feel small, so I pushed harder. I said he was punishing me with silence. He asked what I wanted from him. I said I wanted honesty. He asked if I meant honesty or control. I said he was twisting my words. He said he only wanted clarity about my schedule and the money that kept moving. I laughed and told him he was obsessed. He did not laugh back. He only said he would talk later, in private, when things were calm. 2 nights later, we had dinner with both families at a family restaurant. The table was long. The lighting was warm. The kind of place where people think they are close because they share bread. My mother, Janice, sat near me like she was guarding me. Ethan's parents sat across. Cara came too, and she looked tense. At first it was small talk. My father asked Ethan about work. Ethan answered in short sentences. My mother asked me about my event again, louder than needed. I smiled and accepted praise like it was normal. Then Janice turned to Ethan and said he should be grateful because not every man got a wife who kept the family alive. Ethan said he was grateful for many things. His voice stayed even. Janice said she worried Ethan did not have the right heart for fatherhood. She said some men were too cold. She said kids needed warmth. I nodded along. I said Ethan tried, but he did not have instincts. Ethan asked what I meant by instincts. I said he was always counting, and kids needed feelings, not numbers. Ethan's mother, Marilyn, looked at me with a calm face that did not match her eyes. She asked if I really believed that. I said yes, and I said I had carried the mental load for years. Ethan's father, Paul, asked me a simple question about Cara helping with her niece. He asked how old the niece was now, because he said time went fast with kids. I felt my throat tighten. I answered too quickly. I said the niece was around. I said Cara had always been good with children. Paul asked if the niece went to school yet. I said she was not in school because Cara was private. Cara's fork paused in her hand. I saw her jaw clench. Ethan did not speak. He only watched. He looked at Paul, then at Cara, then at me. I saw something land in his mind. It was like he had finally found the missing piece in a puzzle. He did not look shocked. He looked settled. After dinner, my mother pulled me aside near the bathrooms. She asked why Ethan was being so quiet. I said he was sulking because he did not like being called out. She said good, because men needed pressure. She said I should not let him make me small. I agreed, because agreeing was easier than feeling scared. On the way home, Ethan drove. The street lights moved across his face in slow policy of light and dark. He asked me one thing, very calmly. He asked me to tell him, without jokes, where I went on Fridays and why Cara had to cover for me. I said he was making stories again. I said he should stop spying. He said he was not spying. He said he was listening, and the facts were piling up. I said he was paranoid and needed help. He said maybe he did need help, and he would get it. He did not explain what he meant. He did not raise his voice. He only kept his eyes on the road, like he had already chosen his next step. I tried to fix the mood by acting normal. I cooked meals, packed snacks, and posted cute pictures of Liam. I told myself that if the outside looked calm, the inside would calm down too. Ethan did not match my rhythm. He was still polite, but he was not soft anymore. He watched details like they mattered more than my feelings. On Tuesday, I took Liam to the pediatric clinic for a routine check. The waiting room had plastic chairs and a fish tank with slow bubbles. Liam played with a worn toy car on the floor. I kept my face relaxed. I did not like that place because it had forms, and forms remember things better than people do. At the front desk, the receptionist asked for my name and date of birth. I gave it. She typed and then paused. She asked if I wanted to update information for both children on my account. My chest tightened. I asked what she meant. She said the system showed 2 child profiles linked to me. I smiled like it was silly. I said it must be a mistake. I said I only had 1 child. She looked confused and scrolled again. She said she could see a second name and a birth year that did not match Liam's. She asked if the second child had moved or changed doctors. I felt heat in my face. I said the clinic probably merged records by accident. I said it happened with similar names. She asked if she should remove the second profile. I said yes, quickly. She said she could not delete medical records, but she could flag it and ask a manager to review. She asked if I had any paperwork from the other child's doctor. I said no, because there was no other child. I said she was embarrassing me. Her eyebrows lifted and she apologized. I sat down and tried to breathe like nothing happened. Liam climbed onto my lap. I held him tight, too tight, then I loosened my arms. I told myself I was still in control. It was only a computer screen. Screens can be wrong. I repeated that in my head like a prayer. Then Ethan walked into the waiting room. He did not look angry. He looked calm and focused, like he had a reason to be there. He sat across from me, not too close. He asked why I did not tell him the appointment time changed. I said I did tell him, and he must not have listened. He said the daycare app showed I had left early, so he checked the shared calendar. He said he did not see the appointment there, so he came to make sure everything was okay. I said he was doing it again. I said he was tracking me like I was a teenager. He said he was not tracking me. He was parenting. He asked what the receptionist meant when she said both children. I told him he was hearing things. I said the woman was confused. I said Ethan loved to grab any small error and turn it into a story. He asked why I looked pale then. I said the clinic lights made everyone look pale. He nodded, like he accepted the answer, but his eyes stayed steady. He asked if I wanted him to come into the exam room. I said no, because he would stress Liam out. He said Liam seemed fine. I said Liam was fine because I was there. During the checkup, the doctor asked routine questions. I answered fast. I kept my smile. I held Liam's hand. When the doctor looked at the screen, her face changed for a second. She asked if Liam had an older sibling. I said no. She asked if I was sure. I said yes. I said the system had mistakes. The doctor said it was okay and moved on, but I felt like the room got smaller. After the appointment, we went to the playground because Ethan said Liam needed to burn energy. The park was busy. Parents stood with strollers and coffee cups. Kids shouted and ran. I hated that it was public. Public places turn small problems into performances. Liam climbed the steps and then slipped. Not badly, just a normal wobble. Ethan reached out and steadied him. Liam laughed. I should have felt relief, but I felt annoyed because Ethan looked like the helpful father in front of witnesses. A few minutes later, Liam pointed at Ethan and said a phrase that made my stomach drop. He said Ethan was not a real dad. He said it like it was normal, like he was repeating a line from a song. A couple of parents nearby turned their heads. One woman's face tightened. Ethan froze for a second. Then he crouched and asked Liam where he heard that. Liam shrugged and said he heard it at home. Ethan looked at me, calm but sharp. He asked if I had been saying that. I said Liam heard things everywhere. I said kids repeat random words. I said Ethan was trying to blame me for a child being a child. Ethan said we should not use those words around Liam. He said Liam needed stability. I said I agreed, and then I added that Ethan's cold moods were also not stable. I said Ethan made the house tense, and that tension made Liam talk like that. Ethan did not argue back. He only said we would talk later, when Liam was asleep. That evening, I met Kara by the riverside promenade. I told Ethan I was going for a walk to clear my head. I said the day had been stressful because he showed up at the clinic and embarrassed me. He said he did not want to embarrass me. He wanted answers. I said he did not deserve answers when he acted controlling. He did not respond. He just watched me put on my coat. By the river, the air was cold and wet. Kara was there with a stroller. It was Maya's stroller. Kara tried to angle it away from the path like it was just a shadow. I acted like it was fine. I told myself I had a right to be there. I told myself I was not doing anything wrong because I loved my child. Love should count for something, I thought. Maya leaned forward in the stroller and smiled at me. I touched her hand for a second. Kara asked if I was sure it was safe to meet outside. I said yes, because nobody cared enough to notice. Kara said she cared. She said she could not keep lying forever. I told her she was being dramatic again. I said families keep things private, and that was what we were doing. Then I saw a car slow near the curb. Ethan's car. The headlights washed over us for a second. He did not stop fully. He did not roll down the window. He just slowed, looked, and drove on. My skin went cold. Kara whispered that it was him. I told her it could have been anyone. I said she was imagining things, but my voice did not sound steady, even to me. When I got home, the house was quiet. Ethan had already put Liam to bed. I heard a low humming sound from the office, like a shredder running. It stopped when I stepped closer. I stood at the doorway and saw Ethan, with his back partly turned. He was not hiding. He was just doing something and finishing it. That was worse. He asked if my walk helped. I said yes. He asked where I went. I said I walked by the river and thought about how lonely I felt in my marriage. He said loneliness did not explain hidden schedules and strange records. I said he was obsessed with records because he had no heart. On the dining table, I noticed a folder with a simple label. It said bank. It was plain. No logos, no official look. Just a word. Ethan slid it into a drawer when he saw my eyes. The drawer made a small click when it shut, like a lock settling. I followed him into the hall and asked what he was doing. He said he was organizing. I asked why he needed to organize suddenly. He said he should have organized earlier. I said he was acting like a stranger. He said he was learning to be careful. When I went to close the office door, I heard a soft beep from his phone. It sounded like an app starting. He looked up and did not look guilty. He asked me to say what I wanted to say clearly. I asked why he needed an app. He said he needed accuracy because memories get twisted. I laughed like it was funny. I told him he was being dramatic. I told him he was building a fantasy where he was a hero. Ethan did not argue. He only said he would not be confused anymore. That night, I lay in bed and stared at the ceiling. I tried to tell myself the receptionist was wrong. I tried to tell myself Liam's words meant nothing. I tried to tell myself the river moment was not proof, because Ethan did not stop the car. Still, my chest felt tight, like the truth was pressing from the inside, looking for a crack. I started to act louder, because quiet was losing. Ethan was calm in a way that felt like a closed door. He did not chase me. He did not beg me to explain. He did not even glare the way he used to when I pushed him too far. He just kept moving like he had a plan, and that made me feel unsafe. At the clinic, I told people Ethan was giving me this silent treatment. I said it was emotional punishment. Jenna asked if I had tried counseling. I said I had tried everything, but Ethan liked control too much. I said he wanted me small. Marco said Ethan seemed polite when he had met him once. I said polite men could still be cruel. I made my voice soft like a warning. It worked. People nodded. I posted a story from the gym that evening. It was only a mirror and a caption about healing. I knew what it would do. It would pull comments and messages. It would make me look like the one trying. It would make Ethan look like the reason I needed healing. When I got home, Ethan did not ask about the gym. He did not ask who I was with. He only asked if I had eaten. That normal question made me angry, because it gave me nothing to fight. In the kitchen, I saw it again. 2 mugs, spaced apart. His mug on one side of the counter, mine on the other. 2 dish towels, folded separate. It looked like he was dividing the house without saying it. I said he was being childish. He asked why I thought it was childish. I said because we were married, and he was acting like a roommate. He said he was trying to keep things calm. I told him calm was not love. I told him his calm felt like punishment. He asked what I wanted him to do. I said I wanted him to stop watching me like I was a suspect. He said he did not want to watch me, but the facts were not matching my words. I said he was obsessed with facts because he could not handle feelings. He said feelings were not the same as truth. That sentence hit me because it was simple and hard to twist. Liam ran in with a toy truck and asked for a snack. Ethan gave him slices of apple and sat with him at the table. Ethan asked Liam to say please and thank you. He sounded steady. Liam laughed and did it. I watched them and felt a sharp shame because they looked like a normal pair. I told myself Ethan was performing. I told myself he wanted to look like the good parent so he could blame me later. I did not know why I thought that, but it came fast, like my mind needed a shield. I decided to push him in a different way. I said he was making me lonely. I said he never held me the right way, never looked at me the right way, never made me feel chosen. He asked what that had to do with the clinic records and Kara's cover stories. I said it had everything to do with it. I said when a woman feels alone, she finds comfort somewhere. I said it like a rule of nature, like he should accept it. Ethan stayed quiet for a long moment. Then he asked me to answer one question with a clear yes or no. He asked if I had been keeping something big from him for years. I laughed and said he was being dramatic again. I said he saw one computer mistake and built a whole movie in his head. He said it was not one mistake. He said it was a pattern. He went to the living room and picked up Liam's backpack. He checked the label and the forms inside, like he was making sure everything was in order. He did not say he did not trust me. He did not have to. The way he checked said it for him. That night, my phone buzzed with Kara's name. I answered in the hallway so Ethan would not hear. Kara said she could not do this anymore. She said Maya asked why she could not see my house. She said Maya asked why she could not call me Mom in front of other people. Kara's voice shook. I told Kara to calm down. I said kids asked questions and adults guided them. Kara asked if I was hearing myself. I said she was being disloyal. Kara said Ethan had called her that day. She said he was polite. She said he asked simple questions about schedules and drop-offs. Kara said he did not accuse her. He just asked, and he listened. That scared her more than anger would. I told Kara she should have told him nothing. Kara said she did not tell him anything direct, but she felt like he already knew. I told her he did not know. I told her he only wanted to scare us. Then I paused, because I was not sure. The next afternoon, I went to Kara's building. I stood in her hallway with the dull yellow light and the smell of old carpet. Kara opened the door a little, not all the way. I could see Maya's shoes by the wall. My chest hurt for 1 second, then I pushed it down. Kara asked what I wanted. I said I needed her to stay steady. I said she was my sister, and she owed me loyalty. Kara said she owed Maya stability too. I said I was Maya's mother, and I knew what was best. Kara asked if hiding a child was best. I said I had to protect my marriage. I said Ethan could not handle complicated things. I said he would have left. Kara said maybe he should have had the choice. I told her she was judging me from a safe place. Kara said she was scared of what would happen if Ethan went official. I asked what she meant by official. Kara said she did not know, but Ethan looked like a man who had made up his mind. I told Kara she was imagining it, but my throat felt dry when I said it. On Friday, I tried to bait Ethan. I waited until Liam was asleep. Then I stood in the kitchen, and told Ethan he was cold and controlling, and everyone saw it. I said my friends thought he was toxic. I said my mother thought he was not a real man. I watched for a reaction. Ethan did not shout. He did not slam anything. He rinsed his cup, dried his hands, and looked at me like I was a stranger telling him a strange story. He asked why I was trying to humiliate him. I said I was not humiliating him, I was telling the truth. He asked if I would say those things in front of Liam again. I said Liam already knew the vibe in the house. Ethan said Liam did not need a vibe. He needed adults who acted like adults. I rolled my eyes and told him he talked like a teacher. Ethan walked past me toward the hall. As he passed, I noticed his keys. There was a new key on the ring. It was shiny, like it was new. I asked what it was for. He said it was for something practical. I asked why he needed a new key. He said it was part of being prepared. He did not explain more. I could not stand it, so I followed him after work the next day. I stayed 2 cars behind in the parking garage and waited until he parked. He got out and walked toward the elevator. I stepped out too and called his name. He stopped and turned, calm. I asked where he went on those personal meetings. He asked why I was following him. I said because he was hiding things. He said I was the one who had built a life on hiding. I told him that was unfair. He said he was done with circular talks. I said he was trying to punish me. He said he was not punishing me. He said he was protecting Liam and protecting himself. I asked what that meant. He took a slow breath and said he would not argue in a garage. He said he would handle it properly. The next Monday, I went to work like everything was still mine. I wore a clean blouse and a calm face. I told myself Ethan's properly line was just a threat to scare me back into line. I told myself he could not do anything real without me. I still believed I was the center of the home, the center of the story. At lunch, I walked down to the office tower lobby to grab a coffee. The lobby was bright, with glass doors and a security desk. People from my floor stood in small groups, talking about holiday schedules and workload. I nodded and smiled like I belonged there. A man I did not know stepped toward me. He asked if I was Orual Bennett. I said yes and asked who he was. He said he was there to deliver legal documents. I laughed once like it was a misunderstanding and asked if he meant someone else. He said he did not, and he held out a thick packet with my name printed on it. I took it because people were watching. My hands felt stiff. I asked what it was. He said it was divorce paperwork and proof that I had been served. I said he could not do that in public. He said he could, and he was doing it now, and then he stepped back like a machine finishing one step. I looked up and saw Ethan across the lobby near the security desk. He was not hiding. He was not smirking. He stood still, with his coat on, like he had already finished the hardest part, and now he was just waiting for the clock to move. He did not come close. He did not touch me. He did not block my path. He kept everything lawful, clean, and cold. I walked toward him with the papers held tight to my chest. I asked what he thought he was doing. He said he was handling it properly, and he would not argue in a lobby. I said he was trying to destroy me. He asked me to lower my voice because people were staring. That made me even angrier, because he sounded like the reasonable one. I flipped through pages fast. I saw words I did not want to see. I saw petition and temporary orders and a list of rules that started right away. I saw that our joint account had limits now, and that unusual transfers could become a problem. I saw a schedule for Liam, written in plain steps like pick-up and drop-off, like my child was a calendar item. My mouth went dry. I told Ethan he was doing this to punish me. He said he was doing it to protect Liam and protect himself. I said he was overreacting because of rumors and computer mistakes. He said it was not rumors, and he had documents, dates, and records. He said he knew about Maya, and he said her name like it was not hard to say. The sound left the lobby for a second, like my ears closed. I asked how he knew. He said he had enough proof, and he would not debate it with me. He said communication would be about Liam only, and it would be clear and recorded. I asked if he was going to tell everyone. He said the process would speak for itself. My phone shook in my hand when I tried to call Kara. The call rang and went to voicemail. I tried again. The same thing happened. I looked at Ethan, waiting for him to explode or beg or insult me. He did none of that. He only nodded at the security guard, turned, and walked out through the glass doors like he was leaving a meeting. I stared down at a line that said the temporary orders were effective upon service, and I finally understood that my story was not the story anymore.